Hi, this is Julie Chevenal with Yoga Tree Consulting, and I wanted to talk with you a little bit today about time of year for your yoga teacher training. So I get this question more and more. People feel like they should start it in January. You know, people have New Year's resolutions, they want to start something new, so I should start my yoga teacher training in January, right? Well, sometimes that doesn't always work for you personally as a lead trainer or a trainer in yoga teacher training, and sometimes it doesn't work for the studio. Sometimes where you live, the season may not be appropriate for running a yoga teacher training. So there's lots of reasons that January might not be ideal, and I sometimes think that's why people are asking the question, because they feel like they should do January, but for one reason or another, it's not ideal for them. So I have some ideas for you to consider that don't involve January, and some of the reasons why those might be optimal times, and just see if something else sparks an idea and works out better for you. So one of the really successful times of year that I've had in starting yoga teacher training is September. Now, that may seem like an odd time if you're thinking New Year's resolutions and all those kinds of things, but what I find is that in September, everyone is sort of getting back to their schedule. Sometimes there's like a summer schedule and a fall school year kind of a schedule. In my area, I have a lot of people who are parents who come into yoga teacher training, and the summertime for them is not ideal because they've got a lot of other things going on, but by September, they're ready to get back into their schedule and back into the swing of things. Another time to start, now that I've said September and back to school, is June, which again, I know sounds really crazy, but there is another set of people for whom the summertime is ideal. Sometimes those are the parental types, right? Sometimes people's calendar clears in the summer, and I know people take vacations and those kinds of things, but you're running probably one weekend a month or 1 week a month, that kind of thing, and you're going to find a group of people for whom that schedule works well. That also, in some cases, can get you wrapped up before the end of the year. So if someone is thinking, you know what, next year I want to start teaching yoga, this gets them their certificate, their training complete or mostly complete by the end of the year. So that matches very well with starting teaching next year, right? Another time of year that I've had success, and I really was not sure I would or even why, but April. I've started training in April before, and the thing that I got from my students when I asked them why April worked out for them was really about that whole, well, it was a New Year's resolution, but I was late getting started in January, so January didn't work, and by the time I found you, it was February, and oh, by the way, I was starting in April. So it was kind of one of those things where I think people are always searching. They're doing Google searches, they're looking at local studios, and sometimes it doesn't always coincide with the beginning of the year or the end of the year. Sometimes right in the middle, when you might least expect it, can be a really successful time. So I have personally started yoga teacher training in all of those months, in all of those times, and it doesn't seem like there's any one time that is absolutely the best time. Some of these times have worked better for me personally as a trainer and have worked better for the location that I'm teaching at. All of these things are going to factor into when you should start your yoga teacher training. So I hope this helps. I hope this opens your mind a little bit to some of the other times of year that are optimal or ideal for both your trainees and for you as the trainer, the studio, for starting yoga teacher training. All right, check in the links below for some training resources. Of course, subscribe so you can stay up to date on any postings that are coming up next. All right, thanks. This is Julie Chevenal with Yoga Tree Consulting.